truly alone. Once I'm done with him, he will be.
If you're not Frost or Caitlin, who are you?
Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 9. And this will be my ending explained breakdown video for The Flash Season 9 Episode 1, titled Wednesday Ever After. We'll be breaking down the ending, giving you guys my thoughts and theories in regards to what I think could potentially happen next. So obviously, a couple of days ago, we had the premiere for The Flash Season 9 Episode 1, and regardless of how I felt about the episode, there is no denying that the two cliffhangers we got were both really intriguing and just really sick. It has some good mystery being built in and actually keeps the audience intrigued. Now, obviously, the first ending scene was that of this new Killer Frost. We had Barry pretty much going up to who he thought was Caitlin, but then we have Danielle Panabaker's new character turning around, and then we see Caitlin, but with like a very different look. Like, you know, she has blue streaks of hair, you know, she's wearing clothes that she wouldn't normally wear as Caitlin, and you know, you can tell that this version of Caitlin, she's quite different. And when Barry obviously, you know, asked her questions, that is when we got the reveal that this is not Frost or Caitlin. And we obviously had Barry even saying, well, if you're not Frost or Caitlin, then who are you? So we know we are being introduced to a brand new character over here, played by Danielle Panabaker. Now, you could argue that the second cliffhanger is definitely the more intriguing one, as it obviously sets up our villain for the graphic novel, who we know is to be Red Death, played by Javicia Leslie, aka the actress who plays Batwoman. So it's going to be a version of Batwoman, but essentially we have Captain Boomerang going like into a warehouse, talking about like the weapon he, you know, provided to Red Death. He's like, all of this for this piece of tech. He's like, it better be worth it because I'm out of boomerangs. I need help. And that's when we have like this mysterious figure throwing a box of boomerangs. And then we have the speedster popping up out of nowhere, like fully blurred and stuff, so we can't see the suit or whatever, but we know it's Red Death. And she says, the Flash is never truly alone, but once I'm done with him, he will be. And then she makes this really cool entrance with like the Red Death logo with lightning. And yeah, in my personal opinion, both endings, it gave very good cliffhangers, and I am genuinely intrigued for both storylines. Now, obviously, as I said, we will be explaining both endings, and we'll be breaking it down. We'll be talking about Red Death's plan. We'll be talking about who this new character, Danielle Panabaker, playing is. Now, starting off with Red Death. Now, if we read between the lines, the Flash is never truly alone, but once I'm done with him, he will be. It seems some sort of like a revenge plot or something like that. Not necessarily a revenge plot, but she genuinely wants to break Barry. She wants to bring Barry to a point where Barry truly feels alone. Now, why would this be? Now, in my opinion, it's because Red Death felt alone as well. Simply, something happened to her and she blames the Flash for it. That is what I think is happening. So, obviously, you guys have heard of my theory for regular viewers out there. You guys have heard of my theory of future Batwoman being Red Death. Now, in my opinion, I thought this theory was far-fetched. But then we had some new details in regards to Red Death. Eric Wallace said that this is going to be a different origin story of Red Death. But also, from this behind-the-scenes image over here, that was actually deleted from the CW Flash Instagram because it was accidentally posted by Danielle Nicolet. We have this behind the scenes image of Javicia Leslie suited up in the Red Death suit. We do get a better look at the costume, but also if you focus on her hair, she has like a massive gray streak. Now, you could obviously argue that's only one part of her hair. She could have just kept it to look more menacing, but I think this Red Death is an older version of Batwoman, in my opinion. Now, there are two ways we could take this theory. Either theory number one is this is Batwoman from Armageddon. Now, the reason why I say this is because Red Death was teased in Armageddon as the Lady in Red. So this could be like an alternate timeline type situation where this Red Death, Speedster Red Death, kind of like Savitar, is Red Death, well, Batwoman from Armageddon. Now, not necessarily the good Batwoman that we see, But the Batwoman, that was teased. And if we go back to The Flash Season 8, Episode 4, we had Batwoman and Iris having a discussion of them taking down a speedster, and Batwoman mentions that there was a speedster called the Lady in Red. Now, the Lady in Red, it's obviously a nod to Red Death. She is the Lady in Red. So from that, you can assume that this version of the Red Death could be from Armageddon. And the reason why she's after the Flash now is because when Barry restored the timeline, simply her timeline is now erased. It's completely gone. So whatever timeline she was living in is completely gone. Therefore feels alone. Kind of like Savitar in a way, but not quite. That could be one way this theory works out. Now, obviously, the second way this theory works out is that simply it is a Batwoman from the future. Now, whether it's our Batwoman or future Batwoman, that doesn't matter. I'm just going to say for now that it is future Batwoman. Presumably an alternate future Batwoman, something like that at least. Now, the reason why I say that is because, she wants the Flash to truly feel alone. And I think Eric Wallace will somewhat add Red Death's comic origin into the show in some way, shape, or form. So here is what I think could happen. So this version of Batwoman, she feels alone. Why? Because all of her loved ones are gone. She lost Luke, she lost Mary, she lost Sophie, and if she had anyone else around her, we could say that she lost them as well. And then she would ask the Flash to, time travel and bring them back, because obviously she doesn't know the repercussions of time travel and various other things like that. So she would ask the Flash to time travel and just bring the loved ones back, in which the Flash would obviously say no. Now, obviously, Batwoman is not going to take this lightly, because for her, she wouldn't understand the repercussions of time travel. Let's say for her, if she had this ability to time travel, she would bring her loved ones back regardless of what it does to the timeline. Maybe we could do something like that. But obviously, for now, she doesn't know the repercussions of time travel. And she wouldn't take this lightly when Barry says no. She'd say, oh, you're selfish, you would do it for yourself. Maybe stuff like that. But she would be furious at the Flash. And then, how can she become a speedster? Now, I personally think we're getting thrown off from the ending of The Flash Season 8. I think Red Death over here is the negative Speed Force user. It makes sense, her lightning is red, so for me, it makes sense. She's blurring out, she's doing all reverse flash, her eyes are glowing. I think this is definitely the negative Speed Force user, in my opinion. So the negative forces have gone up to future Batwoman and pretty much told her that all of this is possible. She can get revenge against the Flash, and then she accepts, becomes Red Death. That's what I think is going to happen. And then she obviously goes to present day for a particular reason, to obviously get revenge against the Flash. That's what I think is going to happen in terms of Red Death. And I see this possible because the ending of Cobalt Blue being related to the negative Speed Force user, it doesn't make sense, because if you're a user of the negative Speed Force, your lightning is red. That's been established in the show. So Cobalt Blue would obviously have blue lightning or something like that. I don't think red lightning would really fit the character. So whatever they do with the crystal, I don't think it's related to any of the forces or anything like that. I think it's its own storyline teasing Cobalt Blue, whereas the negative Speed Force user, on the other hand, is going to be Red Death. And as I said, the red lightning, the blurring out, the reverse flash effect, it makes so much sense in my opinion. So I could see this being future Batwoman as well. Now, in terms of the Red Death's plan, I think it's to either bring her loved ones back, and obviously, as she explicitly said in the ending of the episode, she wants to make Barry feel alone. So pretty much get rid of all of Barry's loved ones. So those are the two big plans Red Death has in mind, in my opinion. Now, in regards to the second theory, this one is a little bit harder, because this is a completely new character they're bringing in, and it seems like this is going to be the only character Danielle Panabaker will be playing for all of the season. So this one's a bit trickier. Now, there has been this ongoing theory that this could potentially be Killer Frost, which is another version of, another alter ego of Frost in the comics or something like that. I haven't really read too much into it, but whatever's happened in this cryopod, we know that Caitlyn and Frost are gone. We don't know what happened to them, but we know that this is a completely new character. Now, in terms of how she has the memories, because she knew Star Labs, she knew Caitlyn's phone, she knows who Barry is. In terms of all of those questions, it does get me a little bit suspicious, because how would she know all of this? That's what I don't know. Maybe this other version of Frost has also been kind of living under Caitlyn. I don't know. Or maybe this could just be a simple combination of both Frost and Caitlyn. I don't know. That could also be something that's going on, because I don't understand how she would have the memories of Caitlyn, because she knew exactly who Barry was. She knew the Flash. She knew Star Labs. All of that. She knew all of it. So because of that, it does get me more confused. I think that it could be a combination of both Frost and Caitlyn, but it's not really any of them. It's like a completely new person, if that makes sense. Because in terms of like Frost, it makes sense how she has all of the memories, because she's been living inside of Caitlyn ever since Caitlyn was a child. But whereas this is a completely different scenario, because this has just been a science experiment pretty much gone wrong, because this new version of Frost, or whoever it is now out. You know, the cryopod, I think, just messed up, got rid of Caitlyn, got rid of Frost, and we have this new character. So my best guess is, as I said, this is probably a combination of both of them. However, I'm not entirely certain. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about these theories. I'm interested to see all of your opinions towards all of it as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.